Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Vinco Ventures, ticker symbol BBIG. Now, as we all know, this is a massive week for the stock with the merger expected to be finalized at some point this week. So in this video, we're just going to recap the DD and everything we've talked about over the last month. That includes going over the catalyst timeline, going over why the valuation of ZASH and Lomotif is going to send this stock a lot higher, and finally going over the potential for a gamma squeeze. After that, as always, we're going to take a look at the charts, breaking down key levels, key indicators, and more, so we know how to best play the stock moving forward. So without any further ado, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, so starting off with the catalyst timeline, there are three important things to point out here. The first one is a catalyst that has already kind of taken place. We saw that the Gemini Valuation Services presented to Vinco an independent third-party valuation on ZASH a few weeks ago. However, the problem with this is that that information was not released to the public. However, now we are learning that, this will become publicly available knowledge when the next catalyst goes through. And the next catalyst is that the parties intend to sign a final agreement and plan a merger and reorganization on or before June 24th, which is this Friday. So not only are we going to finally have this merger on paper, but we're also finally going to be able to see that public valuation for ZASH. On top of that, by July 15th, Vinco shareholders are going to be voting for the approval of the ZASH merger. That's something I expect them to overwhelmingly approve. And so we have three major catalysts coming out in the next few weeks. And we're specifically going to now focus in on this first one, the valuation on ZASH. If you've watched my videos for the last month, you know just how bullish I am on this. And the main reason for this is because of ZASH acquiring Lomotif. As we know, in February, they got an 80% stake in the Singapore video sharing service Lomotif, and they paid about $125 million for that stake, which right now is starting to seem like more and more of a bargain as more numbers coming out surrounding Lomotif continue to be very, very impressive. Right now, we see that there are over 225 million installations of the app in over 200 countries with over 300 languages. This app is setting itself up to become the next TikTok, or at least TikTok's biggest rival. And they also continue to roll out a very impressive strategy where they are targeting markets where TikTok is either underdeveloped or banned. So we saw them make a big entrance into Nigeria. Now they are making a big entrance into India. And ultimately, that is setting up a market with billions of people that are going to be using this app. And it becomes very, very exciting when we try to figure out how this is going to be valued. And especially when we take a look at where TikTok is currently valued. This came out a few months ago. We saw that the valuation of ByteDance, which is TikTok's parent company, is approaching 400 billion US dollars. Meanwhile, BBIG currently only trades at a market cap of $167 million. So if Lomotif gets valued at even 1/1000th of the level that TikTok is currently valued at, that still sets Lomotif at a value of $400 million, which is about 3 times the current market cap, meaning that this stock should be 4 times higher when those numbers get released. It's something I am very, very excited to see come out, and I think everybody is going to be very impressed when those valuation numbers come out. But now moving over to the next part, and that is the potential for a gamma squeeze. Taking a look at open call interest on July 16th options, we see that there are currently 35,000 open calls on $5 strikes and 16,000 open calls on $7.50 strikes. Huge numbers for out of the money options. And ultimately, if we see this merger start to skyrocket the price, that could lead to a monster gamma squeeze. The institutional investors are going to have to cover these positions. And on top of that, if they do expire in the money and get exercised, well, all of a sudden, this is about 5 million in shares that could be purchased. And that's about 1/6 of the float. So major potential gamma squeeze for this stock. But now, as always, let's get right into the charts. Okay, so starting off by just recapping the daily price action, we've seen beautiful price action all day for this stock. held kind of that $3.90 to $4 support, and then saw a massive push as volume flowed back into the stock as more and more people are excited for the upcoming merger. And we were able to kind of break above this 9-day EMA, and that caused even more volume to flow in the stock as it confirmed bullish momentum. We even went to go kind of retest last week's highs and broke above them, reaching a high point of 462. After that, we saw a little bit of consolidation, but we're able to get a quick bounce off the VWAP to kind of confirm that this stock is looking bullish. And now we are back to retesting this 450 level with about 30 minutes left until market close. Taking a look at the indicators, we are seeing very, very positive signs flowing out of this stock. First one to take a look at is this yellow line here. That represents the volume weighted average price, or the VWAP. And we are more than likely going to close above that today, which means that the bulls are in full control of tomorrow's trading session. On top of that, taking a look at all my favorite moving averages, we have the 9-day EMA at 423. We just talked about that. We also have the 21-day right here at 394. We have the 50-day moving average at 309 and the 200-day at 243. Currently, BBIG is sitting above all of those, which means that this stock is looking very, very bullish in the short term, in the intermediate term, and in the long term. So lots of good signs there. On top of that, just checking in on the RSI on the daily level. As we can see, we did start to kind of curl back to the upside. However, we're still sitting relatively in neutral territory, meaning that this stock has a lot more room to go if we do decide to make that next leg up. Now taking a look at key levels, starting off on the support side, we're going to have major support right here at 420 with this 9-day EMA being here. After that, we also have major support right here in this $3.85 to $4 zone. The 21-day EMA is also sitting in that zone right now. So we want to see those supports hold. If it doesn't hold, well, then this stock is going to start to look a little bit more bearish. We do have support at 360 and 330. However, like I said, we do want to see these hold if we want to see continuation to the upside. But also pay attention to these support levels because, this is the perfect spot to either add to your position or open a position if you are interested. By buying at support levels, you end up minimizing your risk and maximizing your reward. On the upside, however, we do have some resistance levels to go over. The first one is going to be this key level at 450. If we are able to officially reclaim it, well, then we should expect another test of 485 to $5 very soon. And at this range, that's kind of where the gamma squeeze potential could get interesting. We could start to see some more institutions start to cover their positions and the stock could start to fly. Above $5, however, there is quite a bit of resistance in the $5. We have resistance at 520, 540, and 560. After that, we have this big 590 to 605 range. However, if we are able to break above that 605 level and hold it, well, then this stock could really start to fly. We don't have resistance until 670 at that point, and it really starts to open up. Next resistance is at 750. Then we have resistance at 840. After that, 930. And after that, we could start to see the $10 very, very soon. So the stock becomes very, very interesting. All it needs to do is just kind of start making this next push to the upside, and the fireworks could start to flow after that. Last thing to take a look at is going to be the volume. We did see that volume return to the stock today. We are more than likely going to close with over 20 million shares in volume. That is what we want to see continue. If we can see that hold and even pick up in the next few days, then we are much more likely to see that next leg to the upside. If volume does decrease, then we could start to see more consolidation or even some downside. So pay attention to volume. It is going to be your best indicator of what happens next with this stock. Now, the final thing to take a look at with the numbers and the charts is going to be the potential for a short squeeze. This isn't something we really talked about in previous videos, but taking a look at the numbers on FinViz today, we are seeing a 24% short flow on the stock. And so ultimately, if that is still accurate, well, all of a sudden, if the stock starts to rip based off this merger news, the shorts that are in the stock could really start to get burned and would need to cover this position. And ultimately, that could send the stock price even higher. So lots of positives on the charts, but let me know what you think is going to happen next. I'm very interested to hear your guys' feedback as always. Also, as always, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Other than that, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from all of that, have a great rest of your night.